Imagine waking up tomorrow morning to the soft chime of your smartphone. As you reach for it, a notification illuminates the screen. You open your banking application, and there, amidst the usual digital ledger, is a new entry, a direct deposit of $1,000. You didn't work for it. You didn't trade your time, your skills, or your physical labor for it. It was simply given to you by the state, appearing as if by magic in your account. You didn't have to clock in, answer to a boss, or fulfill a contract. At first, you feel a sense of overwhelming relief. The rent is covered. The groceries for the month are already paid for. The crushing weight of survival that has defined human existence for millennia seems to have vanished overnight. But this is not just your story. As you look around your community, you realize everyone else got the same notification. The waiter at the cafe, the bus driver, your neighbor across the hall. Everyone now has this floor of guaranteed income. It sounds like a utopia, doesn't it? It sounds like the final victory of humanity over scarcity, a world where we are finally free from the toil of the old world. But we must look deeper into the architecture of this new reality. Have you ever stopped to ask what happens to a society when the link between effort and survival is permanently severed? Have you ever wondered why the world's most powerful tech moguls are the biggest supporters of this free money? The same people who are currently automating your jobs away with artificial intelligence are the ones proposing to pay you to stay at home. This is not a coincidence. It is a strategic move in the global geopolitical game. Today, as part of our special report on Global News Agora, I will present to you 3 key reasons why universal basic income is not the salvation of the middle class, but the ultimate design for a permanent, dependent underclass. By the end of this analysis, you will understand that UBI is not a gift. It is a subscription model for your citizenship. And like any subscription, it comes with terms and conditions that will rewrite human freedom. Do you understand what happens when you become a ward of the state? Because once you enter the cage, the door only opens from the outside. You are no longer a citizen. You are a liability on a government ledger. To understand the gravity of this shift, we must first deconstruct the economic illusion of free money. We often hear politicians talk about UBI as a way to rebalance the economy. But let's look at the source of these funds. You see, the government does not have its own money. It only has your money, which it takes through taxes or money it borrows from your future. There is no such thing as a free lunch in the world of macroeconomics. If the government prints trillions of dollars to give every citizen a basic income, they are not creating wealth. They are merely diluting the value of the currency already in circulation. Your savings are being eroded to fund your floor. Think about this. If everyone in a room is given an extra $10, but the amount of bread in the room stays the same, does the $10 actually buy you more? No. The price simply rises to meet the new supply. This is what economists call monetary debasement. The basic income you receive today will inevitably buy you less tomorrow. You find yourself in a perpetual race against a rising cost of living created by the state. You become dependent on a monthly check that is constantly losing its power, forcing you to beg for adjustments just to keep your head above water. You are no longer an independent actor. You are a passenger on a sinking ship. But the economic trap is only the surface. The deeper, more concerning layer is the sociological impact on the human spirit. For thousands of years, human dignity has been tied to the concept of agency. In the 1960s, Martin Seligman conducted an experiment called learned helplessness. He found that when animals were subjected to repeated shocks they couldn't escape, they eventually stopped trying altogether. They became passive. They became broken. They simply laid down and accepted the pain even when the door was open. When you remove the necessity of work, you remove the primary structure that gives most people purpose. A society that no longer has to strive doesn't spend its time writing poetry or painting masterpieces. It falls into a state of deep malaise, addiction, and depression. We are removing the ladder of progress. We are creating a world where the masses are kept in a state of perpetual adolescence, fed and housed by a parental state, but robbed of the fire that drives human history forward. This is a quiet, comfortable stagnation. Imagine a bird in a golden cage. The bird is provided with the finest seeds every morning. It has fresh water. It is protected from predators. From the perspective of security, the bird is living the dream. But can the bird still be called a bird if it never uses its wings? If the door is open, but the bird has forgotten how to hunt, will it ever leave? The UBI floor is that golden cage. It demands your wings. The tech elite understand this perfectly. They know that as AI replaces human labor, there will be a surplus of people with no economic value. They fear a revolution. So, they propose UBI as social hushed money. A population dependent on a government check for survival is a population that can never truly dissent. If you bite the hand that feeds you, that hand can simply stop reaching into the bag. Your voice is silenced by a deposit. This brings us to the programmable leash. The UBI of the future will be delivered through Central Bank Digital Currencies. This is programmable money that can be controlled, tracked, and expire at the state's whim. If your social credit score drops because you posted something unacceptable online, your basic income could be throttled or frozen entirely. UBI becomes the ultimate tool of social engineering and behavioral management. You are no longer a citizen with rights. You are a user with a license to exist, and that license can be revoked at any time for non-compliance. The infrastructure for this total control is being built right now. Think about the UBI pilots in places like California, Kenya, or Spain. They are described as successes because people feel less stressed. But these pilots are small-scale and temporary. They don't show the end game. It is a feedback loop of destruction. The result is a world where everyone, except the tiny elite at the top, is equally poor and entirely dependent. They want to turn you into a permanent renter of your own life. Do you understand the difference between a citizen and a subject? A citizen provides for themselves and has the standing to demand things. A subject receives and must do what they are told. This is our choice. By accepting UBI as a permanent solution to AI-driven job loss, we are voluntarily resigning our status as citizens and accepting the status of subjects. We are trading our sovereignty for a digital voucher. Once the majority of the population is on UBI, the political process becomes a competition of who can promise the biggest check. The long-term health of the country is sacrificed for the short-term bribe, a broken society. Then comes the trap of human obsolescence. If the state provides everything and the machines do everything, then what is a human being actually for? Why does the system even need you anymore in this world? Is the free money a way to sustain us, or is it a way to manage our exit from the stage of history? This answer leads to a very dark place regarding the value of human life when labor is no longer required. In the eyes of a cold, algorithmic system, a human being who produces value is an asset. But a human who only consumes becomes a liability on the national balance sheet. And liabilities are always managed or phased out. This free money is not a sign of your value, but a sign of your redundancy. It is the severance package for the human race. You are being paid to step aside for the new masters of technology. Look at the chilling experiment of Universe 25. John Calhoun created a utopia for mice with unlimited food and zero predators. It was the ultimate universal basic income for rodents. At first, they were happy. But then, their social structure began to disintegrate. They lost the need to perform basic tasks of survival. A group emerged called the Beautiful Ones, who did nothing but eat, sleep, and groom themselves. They didn't mate, they didn't protect territory. They lost their mouseness. Eventually, the colony went extinct, despite having plenty of food. Human beings need struggle to build character and resilience. Do you see this happening today? Look at screen addiction, the hikikomori phenomenon, and plummeting birth rates in developed nations. We are already halfway into the mouse utopia. UBI is the final push. The state isn't just feeding your body, it is starving your soul of the necessity to be useful. It is the drug that makes the cage feel comfortable while our collective capacity for greatness withers away. A safe stagnation. Think about the strike. For centuries, the primary leverage workers had was their labor. They could shut down the economy and force the elite to listen. But if you are on UBI, you have no labor to withdraw. You have no leverage. You are a recipient of charity, not a participant in an exchange. Guess what happens to your voice? It disappears. You cannot threaten to stop receiving your check. Your silence is bought. We are moving from a contractual to a conditional society. UBI is the I agree button for your life. To use the platform of existence, you must adhere to the latest terms and conditions from the state. No dissent allowed. Perhaps this month, the update is a mandatory health procedure. Perhaps next, it is a restriction on travel to save the planet. You can't say no because you have no independent means of survival, permission to exist. Why are Silicon Valley billionaires obsessed with UBI? Because AI models are fueled by your data. In the new economy, data is the new oil. They are paying you a maintenance fee to keep you plugged in. Feudalism 2.0. You are the human battery in the matrix. You are being paid to stay in the pod while the machines build the world. This isn't a safety net. It's a data harvesting agreement for the next generation of algorithms. If the state provides the income, the state can control the marketplace. Imagine your UBI can only be spent at authorized retailers partnered with the government. The local farmer and craftsman are bypassed. Control. Wealth is no longer created through competition. It is redistributed through pipes that only flow to the technocracy. You are used as a conduit to transfer tax dollars into the pockets of global giants. A closed loop. The master plan is total optimization. Independent people are unpredictable. People on UBI are manageable. Tyrants have achieved the dream. They have made the subjects grateful for their own chains. Organized freedom. Think about your community. When work is removed, you dissolve the glue of social capital. You end up with isolated individuals in corporate apartments, staring at government-provided screens. No reason to talk. Atomization. There is no reason to build a local organization. An atomized society cannot resist. You are alone with the state. This is the ultimate dream of social control. Every variable of your survival is now a state function. Where is the escape? It starts with perspective. Stop viewing security as the highest good. The highest good must be agency, the power to act, produce, and own. We must fight for productivity over redistribution. Free money is the most expensive thing you will ever buy because you are paying for it with your future. Don't rent your existence. The UBI Trap is the final stage of the subscription life they have planned for us. The free money is the bait, the digital ID is the hook, and the CBDC is the line that pulls you into the boat of total compliance. Don't be fooled by promises of a life without struggle. Freedom requires work. True freedom is the presence of choice. Your struggle is your sovereignty. I am Professor Jiang. Stay focused, stay productive, and never let them tell you your struggle is a burden. It is your power. Goodbye. As we conclude this Global News Agora special report, the question remains, what kind of future will we choose? A world of managed security and passive consumption, or a world of active citizenship and productive independence? The transition is happening now. The architecture is being built. The choice to remain a citizen or become a subject is the most important decision of the 21st century. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the universal basic income trap. I am Professor Jiang. Stay sovereign, stay free. Good night.